Hi, this lecture is about passage completion questions. As the name implies, passage completion questions are questions in which you are given a passage or a paragraph or a text from which a certain line or a certain part is missing. Now you have to check out the options and understand which option fills that place so that the whole passage or the paragraph becomes a logically coherent one. Now, these type of questions are very interesting, they can be very tough, and this is why they are asked in a variety of competitive examinations. Let's first take a look at the format of the questions. We have three different varieties of passage completion questions. First one has the text at the start missing, which means the first line of the paragraph or the passage might be missing. And you're given the rest of the paragraph, and from that you have to ascertain which of the given options will be the first line for the given paragraph. In this type, it's normally given as a rule of thumb that you should look out for probably an introductory sentence. The paragraph, whatever the paragraph is talking about, whatever the idea has been talked about in the paragraph, the first line more or less tries to introduce that. And this is why in the given options you should be looking out for a line that probably introduces or talks about the idea that comes later in the paragraph. The second type has the text missing from the middle of the paragraph or the middle of the passage. Now here you have the paragraph split into two parts. The first part is linked to the second part through the missing line. So what you have to do over here is understand what the first part of the paragraph is saying, understand what the second part of the paragraph is saying, and then try and make a link between the two, and in your own head, try and understand what this line would be. With that idea in mind, go on down to the options, and from over there find a sentence that makes a link between the two parts. In the third type, which is normally also called the completion of passage or logical completion of paragraph, you have the last line missing from the given paragraph. Now what you have to do here is understand the paragraph or the passage and look out for probably a summary, a very short, a very pithy summary, or probably a remark, or probably a completely lateral sentence or a remark on the understanding or the idea of the paragraph. This one is the toughest of the three because here this can be completely unrelated to the paragraph. A person can go on to say this was one of the best things that happened to the country, this was really great and something like that, but in the end he might just say I don't really approve of it. And that can be a logical completion of the paragraph because here you get to see the understanding from his tone that probably he's not liking it. So there will be some inkling, it's not going to be like it's a random answer. There will be a certain logic, a certain understanding about the correct answer. So my advice here is that look out for probably very small summaries, avoid redundancy, completely avoid redundancy in all the answers, in all the types. Redundancy must be avoided. Redundancy means that if the option repeats whatever has been stated in the passage or the paragraph, it does not really make any sense because it has already been given. Then why state it in another line? So if a line says something like, if the paragraph says something like this, he is smart, he is beautiful, he is adventurous, and there is an option that says he is smart, beautiful and adventurous, then that makes no sense because this is redundancy. We don't need that kind of a line. So avoid that. Definitely be on the lookout for short pithy summaries and be on the lookout for tone, a toned ending. Whatever the tone of the author, follow that, and with that try and end the paragraph with his tone. If he looks positive throughout the paragraph or the passage, look out for a positive ending. If he looks negative, be on the lookout for a negative ending. So let's take a look at examples now. The first type, we have an example that says, I didn't expect this. Usually she's very strong in such situations. And the first line is missing from over here. So how do we solve this? Let's take a look at the paragraph simply. I didn't expect this. Usually she's very strong in such situations. So definitely we're talking of a person. It's a female and she's strong in certain type of situations. But in probably a recent example, she was not very strong in a specific situation. Okay, so what we have to look out here is a line that says or includes an adjective that goes on to say that the person, the female person that we are talking of over here, was probably vulnerable in that situation. She was not very strong in that situation emotionally, not physically. So let's take a look at the options. She was crying like a baby, a probable answer because she was vulnerable emotionally in that situation. She's so amazing. Clearly not our answer. This is against what we are looking at. This goes to show that the person was really good, really strong, which is not what we are looking out for. She could not pick up the heavy rocks. This is an option that is testing you on the understanding of the paragraph. Here they are trying to fix you in a situation where you say, okay, she was not very strong in a situation. Definitely she could not pick up the heavy rocks. But understand that you are looking out for emotional strength, not physical strength. This is why this option also goes out. He was so heartbroken and sad. Now, what is wrong here? The person is definitely emotionally vulnerable, but it's the incorrect use of the pronoun. You're introducing a male person here, we are looking out for a female person over here. Definitely not your answer, and since we have a probable answer, we will not go for option E, thereby making option A our correct answer. In the second example, what is stated is there is one way to complete this lecture without paying anything. Dash. This way you can stay connected with us too. Now you have to make this part of the paragraph link with this part of the paragraph. So the first part says there is one way that you can complete this lecture without paying anything. Now obviously this line will be introducing that way that you can complete the lecture without paying anything. And this is commenting on that way or manner in which you are attempting this. It says that you can stay connected with us too. So definitely this is a way that you can complete the lecture without paying anything, and through that way or through that style of paying us, you can stay connected with us too. So we have to look out for an option that does both these things. A. Sell our lectures to others and make money out of it. I don't think this way you can stay connected with us too makes a lot of link. So we'll not go with option A. Pay us through a credit card. Again, not talking about the second part of the paragraph. Like us on Facebook. This makes a lot of sense. This way probably you can stay connected with us too. Send us a picture of you holding the prettiest dog. Again, not staying connected. So with that probable answer, we can say none of these is again not our answer. Our answer becomes option number C. Third and the last example. This is for logical completion of paragraph. When did he go away? Did he leave a message? He was my roommate for 3 years and he did not even leave me a message. And we have to complete this paragraph with a line that probably goes with the tone of the paragraph. Now, this is outrageous. Seems like a probable answer because the person is angry. The person feels like that he's been robbed of a probable emotional moment with his friend. This is sad. Again, this also makes a lot of sense. This is a probable answer because the person is feeling that he had a relationship with his friend for 3 years and he cannot actually, end it properly. This is funny in some sort of way because probably the person feels that, This is funny in a sarcastic manner, in an ironic manner. This is not nice. Again, this is also a probable answer. So we have all these probable answers. That is why we will go with all of the above. So what we did here was we went with the tone of the author and we looked out for a probable answer. So this is how you solve logical completion of paragraph questions. This is how you basically solve passage completion questions. Move on to the practice sheet. Best of luck.